Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the TNG Designs Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about why are brand relationships important. Yes, they are important, so please do not ignore them, and you're about to find out exactly why. However, before you get stuck in, please make sure, as always, to go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel because I don't want you to miss out on any videos that I go ahead and upload. Make sure you also hit that little ding bell so you get reminded about them too. And make sure you stick around to the very end because I've got a super cool gift to be able to share with you. And not only will you get to understand that, you know what, yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing for my brand, but equally, this is how I can elevate within my brand and actually stand out from the average Joe or Jesse down the road, right? And actually stand out above them and actually make better connections and actually do what I need to do within my brand. So folks, stick around to the very end to find out exactly what that is. And let's get stuck into it. Okay, so as I said, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the idea of why brand relationships are important. And yes, they are important. So please do not ignore these, right? Now, in any business, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, however you identify yourself as, right? Even if you are a personal brand as well, knowing your brand relationships or having brand relationships are actually super important. Now, I've actually done a video beforehand a while ago in terms of like the idea of understanding who your audience is or even where to find your audience. So please go ahead and check that out because it's going to be super relevant to this. And I want to make sure that you understand and know about these two particular things, and they are big groups of things, but you need to know and understand them to know why having a brand, having brand relationships and knowing why brand relationships are actually important. So the number one thing is you need to understand these three people, right? Who these people are, or people pools, as I called them in my previous video. First people pool is clients. Second one is connections. And the third one is your competition. And you're going to have relationships with all three of them. And they are all super important. Because here's why. They're going to help you to understand, number one, especially when it comes to your clients, you know exactly how to speak to them. You know exactly how you can help them. So those relationships that you have there are super important because guess what? People talk, right? The better your relationship is with them, and it's obviously got to be genuine, the better that relationship is the more likely they're going to start talking about your good services. They're going to be talking about who it is that you are and why your brand is an amazing brand to be able to go and experience, right? You need them. The number two as well within that is understanding your connections. When you understand your connections, your peer group, your communities, all those business communities that you're perhaps a part of, or any other communities that you're perhaps a part of, you start delivering that value. You start putting out there what it is that you know in the best possible kind of a way and how it is that you actually help them, the messages that you actually want to make sure that gets put out there and shared with your masses, right? And particularly the clients or the prospects that you actually want to work with. The minute you do that, again, that word of mouth is going to start spreading. That word of mouth is going to start reaching other avenues that you won't perhaps even thought of, right? And the possibilities and the opportunities, even more so, will also start coming, because maybe you might be getting stage presence time. Maybe you might be getting visible in interviews on podcasts or YouTube interviews, or even perhaps on TV, right? All because you kept your connections alive, or because you kept those brand relationships alive with your particular connections within your communities. There's a reason why they say that your network is your net worth, right? It's because of that. When you start keeping that, again, genuine connection alive, when you start keeping that genuine relationship alive, you're nurturing those possibilities, you're empowering those possibilities, because people are going to start talking to you, talking about you in the best possible kind of a way to other people. So they're naturally going to be starting to resonate and reach out to you, right? And that's essentially when it starts what starts happening when it comes to the idea of people start seeking you out. That's the basis of it, because you kept those good relationships with your connections and your clients as well. now we tap into the idea of competition, right? The idea of competition. Now, guess what? Your competition is not a negative thing. Competition is not a negative thing. It can actually be super positive. And again, similarly to the idea of what your connections are about, right? And who they are, your competition are people who you should actually reach out to. And here's why I'm saying this. When you start reaching out to them, you're reaching out to them from a place of curiosity. You're reaching out to them from a place of admiration, because you've seen them get to perhaps the levels that you've gotten to. And maybe you've seen them do things that, you know what, that's super cool. I want to do something similar. But remember, folks, we are not copycats. So please do not copycat. Maybe you just model and understand, okay, that works for them. But guess what? I'm going to do something maybe a little similar, but I need it to resonate with me, because that's the only way that it's going to gel, right? That's the only way it's going to work. If you're using somebody else's strategy and somebody else's material and somebody else's voice, it's not going to work at all. And your audience, the ones that you actually intended to work with, aren't going to resonate with it, because there's going to be a mismatch. Don't create a mismatch. Please do not create a mismatch. So yeah, folks, make sure that you are modeling only and use strategies, but adapt it to the values that you have for yourself. Think about that part. So going back to the idea of competition, right? When you understand who your competition is and who it is are doing that's something similar to you, because no new idea is no business new idea, let's say, that is new, sorry. But the way you implement it, the way you attack it, the way you strategize about it, that's what's unique, because it's coming from you, right? So think about that part. As much as we are closed guarded about what it is that we do, yes, you should be about certain things, absolutely. But the surface level of what it is that you do, there's 1,001 other different people, if not 1,000,001 other different people doing something similar to you. So why not strategize, right? Why not work together if you can? Because, and actually that all brings me quite nicely onto this second big group of things that you need to be mindful of. And that's, especially when it comes to the idea of why your brand relationships are important, it's understanding that your clients, your connections, and especially your competition can actually be super cool collaborators with you. So yeah. So remember where I said that your competition actually doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can actually be super cool, because you can actually start having that sense of a growth mentality, which allows you to start sitting on a level with your competition and actually start working with them. That part. And here's a fun fact. I actually did an interview with somebody, another fellow brand specialist, another fellow brand expert, right? Same kind of field, but obviously we have different approaches to how we help our audiences. But he reached out to me and asked to do an interview with me, because we all resonate on the same level, and our mission, let's say that, and I think this is something that is actually super key. You do need to be on the same level as your mission with your collaborator, with your competition, with your connection, and with your client. You need to have that common ground. But our mission was the same. We want to make sure the awareness of branding, we want to make sure the awareness of what it is and why it is we do what we do gets heard, because that is important. That is why we want to make sure that we can leverage off of each other's audiences to help boost our message out even further and help to push it out even further. And yes, obviously, if people hear us, they will naturally want to choose who they want to work with. It's just the way it goes, right? But you've got to resonate and feel that that mission that you are both on is the same and has a sense of alignment that, yeah, that is super cool. And you need to be on a level with that. So think about that. Folks, I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, remember to always like and subscribe to this channel, because I've got a hell of a lot more to share with you. And go ahead and share this video with other like-minded people as well. And remember to hit that little ding bell so you do not miss out on any videos that I go ahead and upload. And especially when it comes to the idea of talking about, you know, why brand relationships are super important, I want you to go ahead and download this gift that is from me to you. that will allow you to go ahead and elevate within your brand even further. And I talk about these principles, especially when it comes to your branding, because as I said, it's an awareness that I want to make sure that everybody knows about, especially when it comes to business owners and entrepreneurs, especially within the coaching space, because this is where it's super intensified. And I know a lot of people feel lost within their brands, and this will help you to stop feeling lost, stop getting unstuck, start to elevate in a space that actually resonates with you, and especially those who you are trying to help, your clients, right? So folks, I'm going to leave it there. Go ahead and download that guide by clicking on the link that's in the description below. Yeah, folks, just go for it. So folks, that is it from me, and I will see you on the other side.